a lot of people come up saying, like, how do you watch Evangelion and where and why? Because a lot of people say, this is just overrated, right? Like, this is some big thing. And as we were talking before, like, it has so much historical importance. Like, this came out in like, the 90s when things were kind of not necessarily dwindling, but there's a lot of like harems and just like the capital A anime kind of thing. And then Guy Next Month says, hey, what if we make it a little bit sad with anime?
What if we make you a lot bit sad?
Yeah.
I think so. I even if you do end up thinking it's overrated, I kind of treat this anime the same way I would treat like a classic novel. Like even if it doesn't hold up to like what you expect or what your standards are, or even like your kind of taste in anime, I think it's important as an anime fan to check out, because you have to understand the historical significance and understand like where we came from and why and how the industry has evolved and how anime has evolved. And it's one of those benchmark anime.
It is
for me.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely changed the landscape of anime, and it did make it sort of acceptable to say, hey, I love anime and this is the type of anime I can show people, and be like, it's thought-provoking, it's very serious, people around the world know it. I don't know anyone who doesn't know this anime in particular in the anime world. Even if you haven't seen it or haven't finished it, you sure have heard of it. You've seen it somewhere.
You've seen, like, I even saw, there's a Vine, I don't know what movie it's from, there's a Vine of what's his name, Williams, the one Zelda Williams' dad. What's his
Robin
name?
Williams?
Robin Williams.
Oh.
I kept wanting to say Robert, and I was like, it's not Robert. It's been a long weekend. But it's this Vine, and I don't know what movie it's from, but it's him going, Neon Genesis Evangelion. And he says Evangelion, and I'm wondering what that, but like, whatever movie that was from, it's from some movie that Americans made in like 1990 whatever, and it was in that movie, so and it made it into a Vine, so that's all you need to know about that.
I mean, there's so many references, like if you just watch it, you'll be like, oh, that's where that's from.
Exactly.
Like, it just makes so much sense, and like you said, it's just like a classic book, like a classic novel that everyone should consume at
with
some
an
point.
awesome opening song. It's a classic book with an awesome opening song. I love that.
I mean, I
name.
think like it might be, for example, the book I was thinking of when I was saying that is Catcher in the Rye. I absolutely hate that book, but I think it was important to read, and I understand why it was important at the time. I don't absolutely hate Evangelion the same way I hate Catcher in the Rye, but I think like because there's people who are like, well, why it's overrated, like Miranda brought up. Like that's kind of what I was getting at, is even if you don't end up liking it as much as you want to or as much as you think you should, it'll have that value for you.
It's like Final Fantasy VII, because I'm going to just harp on this. It's like so many people are like, that game is overrated. And like, but if you were in high school like I was, and you walked backwards to look at that cover art of Cloud and his Buster Sword, that was a game-changing moment. I know it looks boxy and stupid and makes no sense. The story makes no sense, I know. But everything about that game changed the course of how we made games going forward. And Evangelion changed the way a lot of people thought about anime.
Yeah, and I guess the reason I keep harping on this is like I don't want to like overhype something and then have someone be like, well, yeah, I mean, like, okay.
It's definitely strange. Like, it is a strange anime. It's very philosophical. There's a lot, like, when I watched it, I made sure to, like, look up stuff afterwards just because there's so much to it. And then it's one of those things where you want to get, like, a companion piece to it. It's just like, is there a guide for this?
That sounds like
again.
What we do in the watch party.
So now kind of on how to watch it. I always recommend, of course, the series. There's 26 episodes. The only thing is it's very hard to come by. There's no legal way to stream it.
No, actually,
that's why it's not a watch party, right? So like
totally.
I had to watch bits and clips of the sort of remade version on Funimation, because they had like different clips that you could watch, and it's like, all right, I'm going to watch different clips of the first episode just to see how it looks. But Evangelion's very elusive.
Yeah, I watched the first episode a long time ago, and I was trying to watch the rest in preparation for this, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I was asking my friend, like, do you have it on DVD? Please have it on DVD. And he didn't.
Yeah, there's like the perfect edition that came out in the United States in early 2000, and that's just like the cut and dry. Like, here's the episodes. There's no revisions. There's also a Platinum edition that came out later, and that's like the HD one where they kind of cleaned up the audio and the visuals. I think those are the only editions. There's a Blu-ray one that came out in Japan very recently, and I was just like, why not here? Why not here?
What's up, guys? Like, it's so strange to me that such a prolific show is so hard to find. Right. Like, you can find figures of like Ray and everybody, like, you can find those, but how do watch the show? What?
Yes. There's also a bunch of manga. And there's so many spin-offs. It is ridiculous. Like, there's a detective series of manga for Shinji. It's just like, what is happening?
I didn't know that. What?
Yeah, there's so much.
Is he trying to find the robot or the Evangelion to get in?
But yeah, so definitely if you have the opportunity, watch the original show. I recommend that above anything else. They also kind of summarize them in the Death and Rebirth movies. And then, of course, once you watch the show, you want to watch The End of Evangelion, which is the movie that kind of recaps the final 2 episodes and gives the true ending of the show. Because the actual ending of the show is it's a little weird. I remember watching it, I was just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, why is this happening?
Yeah.
Was that because Anno had I read some random nervous breakdown.
Yeah, he did not edit anything, just like, go, Hideaki, go. And yeah, he had a lot of
I want to give him a
problems
hug.
going on right then. Yeah, a lot of the show is about like his depression and coping with that and how that works. And so, yeah, it's a show.
It's a heavy show.
But and go ahead. You say something?
No, yeah. I mean, just like, I need to watch it. I need to figure out how to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that no one's, like Hulu or Netflix hasn't picked it up, like the rights.
I mean, yeah, right.
Although,
so,
like,
please, somebody just get it.
Yeah, there's.
I'm sure there's
as
some
we've
legal
seen
thing.
with Toei, looks at camera. Licensing can be a tricky beast.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that has something to do with it. I
It's a
actually
shame.
don't know.
Yeah, especially with Hulu, like dropping a lot of like anime shows.
Right.
Like,
Oh
it's,
yeah,
like,
rip.
Yeah, it's gonna be harder.
So if you still want to watch it, but you want to watch some new updated version, you can watch the Rebuild of Evangelion movies. And those are interesting. The first one's pretty much the same as the show. And then it goes about halfway through the second. There's going to be 4 movies. There's only 3 out right now. Finally, the third one's out. Yay. It took forever for animation stuff. Like, there's a lot of issues with that. Anyway, those retell the story, but it goes in a wildly different direction. Like, it is a very different story by the second half or the end of the second movie. I'm like halfway through the third movie. I didn't get to finish for some reason. And I was just like, well, this is...
Why is it like super happy? Like
No,
super cheerful?
it's still not happy. It just goes in a very... Like, I don't really want to talk about it too much because it is very spoilery.
Sure.
I like the original a lot more. Hideaki and some of the other creative staff from the original series are working on this. So it's not like it's some other people just taking it. His studio was doing it, Studio Kana. And I'm just kind of like, it just kind of loses some stuff from it. It just, it feels different. But
we need
check
to
them
do
out,
a petition to get the original somewhere.
Yeah.
Somebody, please.
Someone pick it up, please.
The
Stream
potential.
it. You can charge $1 gazillion for the DVD, Blu-ray, DVD. I don't care. I want to finally finish the series.
Seriously.
Yeah, but I still think they're worth watching. Like, if you enjoyed the original, I would absolutely pick them up. They're not too expensive. They're all on Blu-ray. On Amazon. Funimation put them out.
Yeah.
Really pretty.
Blu-ray.
So.
I wonder if Max Scoville owns them. He probably does.
He probably does.
I'm going to ask him after,
Or Zach,
right
maybe,
after this.
too.
Or Zach, yeah. We
Yeah.
have some coworkers who have
Huge Evangelion fans.
like figures and stuff on their desks, and I'm like,
I wouldn't be surprised if Max had like a tattoo.
I'm having a really hard time coming up with words today. I was like, what's the word for the statue things of girls?
Figures, the cuties. No.
Cuties. Waifus.
Those actually weren't just
waifus.
but, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
right.
let us know what you guys think about Evangelion. Which ones have you watched? Have you read any of the manga? Please let us know.
Yeah.
I'm probably just going to go. I really want to check that out now because I've convinced myself that it's good.
Yeah.